Hello YouTube, it's your friendly Grumpetteer, and I'm back again with another Steven University log. Today's episode is Fusion Cuisine, and in this episode, Steven and Connie are watching, I don't know, I think it was like Under the Knife or something. It was pretty much like, you know, one of those doctor shows, Grey's Anatomy or whatever. And Connie gets a call from her mom, and her mom wants to talk to Steven's parents. And obviously, you know, Steven's mom, as he says, gave up her mortal and physical form so he could exist. So, you know, they give him so they panic, and and Connie makes up a story about how he has nuclear parents, which if I actually didn't know this either, but apparently nuclear parents means you have a mom and a dad. I thought that was just called having parents, but whatever. One mom and one dad. I didn't. Is that a thing? I don't know if that's a thing or not. I thought that was just called, like, you know, genetic parents or actual parents. Anyway, so Steven decides that he is just going to have his dad and one of the gems go with him, but he can't decide which gem to bring with him on the dinner that Connie's parents want to have with Steven's parents. And I'm really hoarse because I was at a thing the other day, and my voice is hoarse, so just ignore that. And so he has to decide which gem to bring with him, but since he can't decide, he decides, oh, I have an idea, and he just tells all the gems to, like, he fuses all the gems together because, you know, they can do that fusion thing. So they all fuse together, and they form into one giant, I don't know if he had a name, I don't remember if, like, she had, like, a real name, but it was just one giant fusion of garnet, pearl, and amethyst. And they bring that to dinner, but of course everything goes horribly wrong because she's a giant magical being, and giant magical beings aren't normal. So Connie pulls Steven aside, and Steven finds out that Connie didn't want her parents to know anything about Steven, you know, his magic heritage, I guess. I don't know. All the magic stuff about Steven, like, you know, the gems, how his spit kind of thing healed her glasses, you know, all that kind of stuff. And Steven, you know, he doesn't like that. And so a whole bunch of stuff happens, and like a whole bunch of funny interactions and jokes with the giant lady happen. And then the gems eventually, when they try to eat shrimp, get in a fight with each other inside of the giant form and explode into the three normal gems. And when when Connie and Steven are really angry about, you know, her parents finding out and everything, Connie and Steven run away, pull a Moonrise Kingdom on us, and go, I don't know, get on a bus, and then they're gonna survive the first place they find, because they're in love, but you're not supposed to know. It's pretty much Moonrise Kingdom. And then the gems come and save them, and Connie's parents, in a strange thing that I really didn't understand in the end of the episode, Connie's parents agree to everything that everything about Steven, the crystal gems, because of the way, and this isn't a joke, because of the way Steven is punished by the crystal gems, which I guess makes sense, you know, like seeing, you know, I judge a parent that's just like, oh, you just blew up a building, that's fine, you know, lower than a parent that's like, no, you just blew up a building, that's bad. You know, I guess that makes sense, but it's, I don't know, it's still pretty weird. This is the most, don't mind the sound, there's stuff going on up there. This is definitely the episode that I laughed the most or laughed the most at. Like, this was the funniest episode so far through the entire series. The whole shenanigans with the giant. What is that sound? There's stuff going on. They're playing basketball. Yeah, I don't sport. So there's a whole bunch of funny shenanigans and jokes they use with the giant fusion gem and Connie's family having dinner together. Like, you know, she just like grabs a thing of breadsticks and she's like, oh. And of course, you know, she's a giant person, and it's just a whole bunch of really funny jokes. I can't even really cover them all. The relationship, like, not romantic relationship, you know, friendship between Connie and Steven is expanded a little bit more, and Connie and her parents, which we haven't really heard about in any other episodes. Connie's dad and Connie's mom. Connie's mom wearing some kind of, and don't get angry at me because I don't know what the head kind of thing is, but sort of a Muslim Saudi Arabian kind of headdress kind of thing. So they might bring an interesting kind of religion into this show alongside white people and black people having a relationship together. Maybe she's a black person who has more heritage to her, which is a really big risk in a kid's show, especially in this day and age with the Cheerios commercial and all that jib jab about, what can't be what. And if that would be a very interesting thing. And it's seen in this episode. That's not her hair. She obviously has some kind of headdress on. So either that's a religion or maybe some kind of girl's fashion, but just made up for the show. I'm guessing it's not the latter, but whatever. The beginning of the episode, there's a funny scene where they're watching the Grey's Anatomy kind of doctor show, and Connie's like, yeah, my mom doesn't think this accurately represents a real room, and then like you hear the guy say, how did his feet get in his brain? And that got a laugh. There is, however, a really weird, like, they tell a little more about gem physics and stuff like that. The gems don't have to eat. They're gems. The gems inside of them provide all the energy they'll need to, survive. And eating is painful, at least to Pearl. Amethyst loves it. I don't know about Garnet. And it's just a really weird scene where Garnet's eating like a thing of chips and picks her nose. It's all gross. It's weird. Just skip that part if you're on DVR or whatever. There's a really funny scene in the beginning where Steven just like out of panic hands the phone to Garnet and tells her to pretend to be Steven's mom, and Garnet's like, oh yeah, they're playing with swords. Oh no, now they're bleeding. Oh, they're both dead. Bye, never call again. And just hangs up. That's funny scene, a funny little skit there, and at the end, when they're deciding what punishment to do, Garnet's just like 1,000 years, no food. That's funny too. And Garnet does say a pretty weird, like, creepy thing at the end. She just like turns to the screen and like everything focuses on her. It's just like, comedy is other people's pain, which is true. Which is true. Watch pretty much any comedian talk about what comedy is, and they'll tell you comedy comes from other people's misery. It's a fun little fact. Besides that, nothing else I can really, say about this episode. Great episode overall. Can't really think any things I didn't like besides the whole resolution of the episode. It seemed a little out of character for them to just run off together. But you know what? Whatever. If they want to go that route, maybe they'll have like an interesting thing where they act differently around each other. But whatever. Sorry about the noise. I don't know what's going on out there. I'm gonna go beat him. I'm gonna go beat him with this glasses case, and I will see you guys later. Give this a thumbs. Yeah,